Michael, why won't they just admit it? I think at this point, everybody knows. We can all see that Valve's unannounced shooter Deadlock has just hit over 18,000 concurrent players. Like, come on, Gabe. Give it up already, buddy. Everybody knows the game exists. And yet you have people playing it, just not everybody. Ted Litchfield over at PC Gamer tells us all about it. Valve seems to be gearing up to release its first new game in 4 years. And we already know way too much about it. We've seen dozens of Deadlock characters and their full moveset on YouTube. We can poke around in its file directories. It has a pretty popular subreddit already, Michael. And by VG247, it hit 17,000 concurrent players last weekend. What is happening? Dude, the game hasn't even been revealed. It's not showcased. Nobody knows. Well, we all know about it, but technically we're not supposed to. You can observe the fluctuation of Deadlock's crypto player base over on SteamDB, according to the utility creator Pavel, we'll say Judek. A Steam key submission months ago made the details of Deadlock's playtest available for public view, and Valve took no action to change that. It certainly looks like the studio has been ramping up the size of Deadlock's player test through, well, it's now sitting at 18,254 players. What is happening? That's 578% increase over last month's high. And honestly, the devs of a lot of fully released games would be overjoyed to put up numbers like that. Isn't that the truth? It's hard not to be excited for a new game for Valve. He's talking about himself here. I'm not even much of a multiplayer shooter guy anymore, and I'm still ready to jump into this thing day one. Based on the leaks, Deadlock looks like a hero shooter with strong Moba components. Oh, Michael, back it up. I'm in, buddy. Let's go. Creeps, lanes, and an in-match store for purchasing upgrades. It's also got an expansive cast of visually distinct characters, rocking special abilities that influence the course of battle alongside more traditional third-person gunplay. Yo, this is where it pulls me in when we keep talking about predecessor. Is that third-person perspective, how good it feels, this, that, and the other. And honestly, as comical as Valve's refusal to acknowledge the game in the face of the divulge of public information is, the response is so uniquely Valve, and it certainly beats what we'd expect from most publishers. Michael, what do you think?
Yeah, this game has been all over the place. I've had buddies who were in the early alpha. They'd kind of tell me about it. And I think the other day it finally hit this open alpha where as long as someone's on your friends list, you can invite them to the game. So that's how I actually got in, checked it out yesterday. And this thing is absolutely insane. Drew, there's only certain hours of the day you can play it. It's like from 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. It's all over the place. But I want to know more, but I really feel like a lot of these numbers, a lot of this hype from everyone I've talked about is just because we all seem to be still stuck when Valve made these amazing games, right? In the mid-2000s, your Half-Lives, your Dotas, your Left 4 Deads, all of that. And that's where I'm kind of stuck. It's been a while. Anyone remember Artifact, by the way, from Valve? That was not a good game. So that's kind of where I'm sitting. I hope this is good. As you kind of hit on, it's got that hero shooter MOBA hybrid fusion that I don't quite know how is going to work. And I want it to be good, but it definitely feels like a lot of people are like, guys, Valve used to make good games 20 years ago, so this one's going to be a killer. And I don't know if that's going to be the case, but if it's good, it's going to be really good. We know that much.
Well, that's just it, right? I think there's just a lot of weight on Valve. At the end of the day, Valve doesn't need to make a game. We're fortunate enough that they are making a game, I think, is how I kind of look at it, right? Because they have Steam. Dude, it's a money-making giant. They don't need to make anything moving forward, but here we are. Sounds like we're getting Deadlock one way or another at some point. Will we see something at Gamescom next week? Maybe that's what they're waiting on. Here's the big reveal. Yeah, if they do announce it next week, they should really play it up. Yeah, we know you saw us. Here's the full reveal. Let's see what we get into these characters, right? What do these characters look like? What do they do? What are their abilities? How does this game look? How does this game play? Not all of us have been in on this thing. I'm just saying, I'd like to jump in, but we'll get there eventually, right? It'll probably be free to play if I'm guessing off the top. I don't see a buy-in model for too many shooters moving forward. I think Concord is one of those exceptions that I think are finding themselves in hot water and might even be backing up the game plan. I don't know if it's too late for that, but we'll see what happens here, right? We saw Predecessor move free to play after their early access jump in things. And if this falls into that same accord, then I think we're going to go down that rabbit hole as well. More and more games, thanks to Fortnite, are heading free to play. They have to be able to compete. How do you do that? You don't put a price tag on it. You give us battle passes, skins to buy, and other cosmetics, right? Don't make it pay to win, but make it free to play with cosmetics, and let me make my character so that when you're out there, yours looks like yours, mine looks like mine, and we're just styled differently, right? We'll see. 4 years isn't a long time to be working on a game anymore, at least at this point, right? We see that long stretch now of somewhere around 7 years, 6 years. But if we get this sooner than later, dude, I'm definitely pumped with tempered expectations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pumped on the fact that it's Valve. We'll see how it goes. You did mention Artifact, just saying. So we'll see how it all plays out. Let us know, though, itgtv.com. Are you excited for Deadlock?